Overfishing, a Global Crisis, a presentation by Gigi Plecha. Today I am going to talk to you about a topic that affects everyone in the world. And if you care about the environment, or if you love to eat fish or seafood in any form, tuna fish, sushi, shrimp, then this is a topic that should concern you. I want you to take a look at this photo. This is overfishing. Overfishing is when we take too many fish out of the oceans and remove them at a faster rate than they can reproduce. Throughout human history, the oceans have been a source of food that seemed inexhaustible. Today, many people still believe that there is an endless supply of fish in the oceans, but that is not true. 80% of our oceans are being overfished, and our once plentiful food source is fading away. If we continue at this rate, all the fish in the oceans could be gone by 2048, when I will be just 52 years old. But if we reverse the cycle now, we can stop the ongoing overfishing. Imagine a world with no fish in the oceans. That is a world that is only 48 years away. How in the world did we get here? Overfishing has only become a major problem in the last 50 years. There are three main causes for overfishing: harmful new advances in fishing technologies, wasteful fishing practices involved, and the growing worldwide consumer demand for fish and fish products. Let's look at each of these causes. There have been many advances in fishing technologies that have ended up harming the environment and contributing to this global problem. I'm going to tell you about a few of them. The first is the invention of large factory boats. 50 years ago, most fishing was done by individuals or very small fishing fleets who returned to port each day and could only catch a limited amount of fish. But today, we have factory boats. These are much larger boats that are able to stay out at sea for long periods of time. Factory boats are equipped with sonar and radar technology to locate large schools of fish. On the factory boats, fishermen can flash freeze the fish so that they can keep them fresh for a long time. This enables them to stay out on the open ocean for days or even months and catch huge quantities of fish. Another very destructive fishing technology is longlining. This illustration shows how it works. Fishermen invented long lines that span up to 80 miles and are baited with hundreds of hooks. Fishermen normally go after one or two types of fish, but many fish and marine animals are attracted to the long lines. This is one of the most harmful and wasteful fishing technologies. Bottom trawling is another type of destructive fishing practice. Trawling nets sink to the ocean floor where they are pulled along, scraping the sea bottom, damaging the marine habitat, and picking up everything in the area. It is estimated that 20 to 40% of what is caught through bottom trawling is thrown back into the sea, either dead or almost dead. One last reason for the growth of overfishing is consumer demand for fish, which in the last few years has risen to extremes. Today, more than 1 billion people rely on fish as their only source of protein. Quotas and no-go zones are two strategies used to limit overfishing. Quotas are limits of fish that a fisherman can catch per season, month, week, or day. Many areas have had to set quotas on local fish in order to leave enough to maintain the population. Florida and other places along the Atlantic coast now have quotas. No-go zones are areas where fishing is not allowed, just like hunting is not allowed in national parks. No-go zones help prevent pollution in high polluted water, and it helps marine life thrive. For example, at Goat Island Reserve, a no-go zone in New Zealand, scientists noticed the long-gone New Zealand snapper was coming back. This shows how no-go zones work and how they really can help us in the future. Aquaculture, or seafood farming, can be good and bad. It is bad when farms put a high concentration of fish in a small tank, where diseases can spread rapidly. If fish farms are in coastal waters, they can spread disease outside the tank and pollute the open water with fish waste. For example, farm-raised Atlantic salmon is no longer good to eat because it is not raised responsibly. However, U.S. farm-raised shrimp, oysters, and clams are extremely successful. An innovative example of aquaculture is Snapper Farm. Snapper Farm sets their cages out in deep ocean water, where there's a strong current and lower levels of disease. Even the fish feed they use is much better than in other countries because they use lower levels of fish in their feed. This presentation is the first step in my plan to help stop the global crisis of overfishing, doing my part to raise consumer awareness about the problem and suggest ways for how every person can help. If more consumers know about how serious this problem is and understand that if we don't change things now, there will no longer be any fish in the oceans within 50 years. I think more people would take action. Fortunately, there are organizations and resources available to consumers to help them make better choices. One place consumers can look for information is the Marine Stewardship Council. MSC is a non-profit organization that certifies sustainable seafood fisheries. This picture is the MSC logo, and it is also an eco-label. If you see this eco-label on packages of fish sold in grocery stores, you will know that you are buying quality fish from a sustainable resource. Seafood Watch is another great nonprofit that is involved with consumer education. It publishes pocket guides that tell you which fish are harvested or caught sustainably, as well as which fish you should avoid. Seafood Watch also puts this information in an app that you can put on your iPhone, iTouch, or iPad for free. Seafood Watch also produces awareness cards that you can leave with the managers of restaurants to let them know that you care about eating sustainable seafood and that you want them to check that they are serving responsible products. You can also talk to your local grocer and tell them to purchase seafood that has been certified by the Marine Stewardship Council, or to avoid stocking their store with products that we now know should be avoided, such as the Chinese farm-raised tilapia. Everyone can make a difference. Tell the people in your family who shop for fish about the resources from Seafood Watch and the Marine Stewardship Council. These resources will help your family shop and eat responsibly. And if everyone tells 5 people about how serious the problem of overfishing is and gives them the pocket guide resources, more and more people will be able to do their part to change consumer demand towards more sustainable seafood. Consumer education is the key to changing the course of overfishing to one that maintains ocean life for our own and future generations.